Hello, everybody. This is Benny Hills back with another Modern Cube draft. I'm sorry to say, but once again, I forgot to record the beginning of the draft. It's early on a Saturday morning. I'm a little groggy. It was late night last night, so I'm sorry about that. But we first picked Soulscar Mage, and then Mono Red has looked pretty open. There's a lot of good white stuff that we've been picking up too, so we would sort of like to be red white, but we'll see if we get the fixing for that. For this pack, we're going to go with the Skypeep Scrounger over the Pyromancer. We only have one burn spell, and just hitting harder is really good for this sort of deck. Um, I am very sorry about missing the first couple packs, but or the first couple picks, but here we are now. Now we have a very interesting pick. So we could pick the Wooded Foothills with the potential of trying to make this splash work. These are good cards, especially Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. But Bone Crusher Giant is just an elite card. I think we should go with this. Also, this is the sort of card that will get picked up by other players that are playing Control, most likely, if we don't pick it up. So, yeah, we'll go with the Bone Crusher. And again, I am sorry about missing the first couple picks. I guess the one other thing... So, second pick was the Rabble Master. And then we've had a couple opportunities to pick either burn spells or one-drops. And we've gone with one-drops for two reasons. First, because they're really good in Mono Red specifically, and we want to cut that from other players' ideas. And secondly, it's just really important to have one-drops in this sort of deck. So, I think that's a good thing to take away from this. You want to prioritize these over pretty much anything, especially early on. Okay, so... I mean, there's good white cards, but they're very heavy white cards, and so I don't think that'll really work for us. I think we'll just take the Lava Coil here. It may or may not make the main deck. Not being able to hit players is a pretty big deal, but pretty much every deck will have some creatures in this format. And there's some situations where Lava Coil is a very, very good card against like Voice of Resurgence types things or Kitchen Finks. So, I mean, there's Olivia Voldaren too. Terror of the Peaks is a bit expensive. Yeah, we'll take the Lava Coil and then see if it makes the main deck or not. Alright, I think we'll just go with the Shield Breaker here. It's not as good in this format as it is in other formats since they just cut the signets, but, I mean, just playing it as a 2-drop to fill your curve is fine. And if you can blow up an artifact also, that's really good. Saheeli is good in some mono red decks, especially if you can side into a slightly bigger deck with a lot of burn spells against other creature decks, like little creature decks. But we don't really have the burn to make that work, and I mean, I guess the Flamecaller could be a decent sideboard for a similar thing if we just want to side into a bigger deck, but I'd rather take this with our pick here and then maybe get that on the wheel. Ooh. Okay. Pretty easy for Alcidon here. This is a great card. Ancient Grudge could be good. Sort of Light and Shadow could be a good sideboard card against black or white decks. But Alcidon is one of the premier 3-drops. Ooh, okay. This has really come together well. Hazoret is probably the best 4-drop for an aggressive deck, like out of any. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Koth, Chandra, Hero of Oxid Ridge, but I think Hellrider's in this cube, but Hazoret is just so good. And it's also at its best when you're struggling. Like, if you're on a mulligan, then it becomes even better. So, Shadow Spear is an interesting option to try and, like, swing the aggro matchup in our favor, but we already do have Ferocidon, and I do actually think Crasher is really good. We also don't have that many 3s, especially if you consider this as basically a 2, so we'll take that. Okay, yeah, this is going really well. This is not a mountain, so it's not a dual land for our white spells, but at this point, we're pretty much mono-red. Like, white is open. You can see multiple good white aggressive cards here that we would want to play if we could support the mana, but mono-red is open, and the consistency is just hard to turn down. Okay, I'm actually going to take Anger of the Gods here. It's funny that Sweltering Suns and Anger are in the same pack. These white cards are not quite up to it, I think, and these are nice sideboard cards if we face the mirror. I guess the question is, would we rather Sweltering Suns, though? But, like, if we play against a deck that has, like, Kitchen Finks and Voice, that's, like, one of the main times when we would want to bring this in. So I think we will take the higher upside one. Okay, not much force here. We'll just take the white card, and, you know, if we do manage to pick up Fixing, this could be a good sideboard option against certain decks. Alright, here we'll take the Elspeth. This is, again, like, if we want to side into a bigger deck against another burn deck, then this is a pretty good option. It competes a little bit with Goblet or Grim Lavamancer, but also Spectral Procession is just very hard on the mana. So we got 4 1-drops very early, and I was thinking, okay, we actually don't really need more 1-drops, but now we haven't gotten any in a while. We'll go with this here. So I would actually really like to pick up some 1-drops now. Like, ideally we would have 6, so we'll see. We actually do have a lot of the best ones, but I would love to pick up like a Zergo and a Goblin Guide in the last pack. We also only have 2 non-creature spells, one of which can, or 2 burn spells, one of which doesn't go to the face. I guess we also have Bone Crusher Giant, but priorities here are like 2 more 1-drops and then a couple efficient burn spells that can hit players. And then maybe like 1 4-drop Planeswalker to top the curve. Alright, we'll take a Nykthos here. There's actually a world where Nykthos is good. Ooh, Finale actually could also be good. I mean, we're our monocolored at this point, so if we had no other utility lands, we could maybe run 1 Nykthos. But I guess we don't really have mana sinks. We don't have something like Figure of Destiny or whatever. But we'll see how it plays out. I would rather have Mutavault, but we already passed that. I'm actually not sure of exactly the utility lands in this format. There's not as many as there are in Vintage Cube for sure, but we'll see. Alright, this pack is sort of a brick for us. Murderous Rider and Avalanche Riders are the only mono red cards, and they're both fine, but not anything special. I think Avalanche Riders is a bit better, and probably worth main decking if we're very light on 4s. Red Cap is a nice sideboard option in the mono red mirror, but we'll take the Avalanche Riders. You really do want your 4-drops to have haste if possible in a red deck. Or, like, I mean, they could be Planeswalkers that have an immediate impact, like Koth basically has haste. But, like, just playing a 4-drop and then passing is, like, pretty tough in a 15-land mono red deck that's trying to win on the 4th turn. Okay, so I'm going to optimistically cut this Lava Coil. I would rather start with that in the board and have better burn if possible. Okay, so I think it is just between the mono red cards here. Like, there's still this white fixing option, but we don't. If we had Sacred Foundry, maybe we would go with this. But I think Karizev would be a little bit better for us, but it's also much more likely to wheel. And Abrade would be really good. We have a lot of 2-mana creatures already. I think I'm going to take the Abrade here and try and wheel this. If it doesn't come back, that's okay. Like, again, I would take a 1-drop over this, because a 1-drop would be, like, necessary, and Karizev would just be nice. But Abrade is a pretty good interactive piece. Alright, now we have a pretty tough decision. Well, there is a Needle Spires, but I think that ship has sailed at this point. Anax is a pretty good 3-drop. It has a ton of power, and it makes you pretty resilient to board sweepers. And then there's also Exquisite Firecraft. And I think we are going to go with the Firecraft here. We have 15 creatures, so our creature count is pretty good. And I also think Anax is slightly more likely to wheel. Just again, like, so burn spells have a lot more utility in non-mono red decks, whereas Anax is really only good in mono red. And I don't think anyone else is playing mono red. So we'll take the Firecraft here. Ooh, okay. Eidolon is great. I actually like Treasure Map a lot in this sort of deck as like a sort of sideboard option to go a little bit bigger. Shivan Fire is also solid, but it can't go to players. If it could, we would take that. But Eidolon is one of the best 2-drops. It's just very, very good. There's a Crater Hoof if we'd taken that pack 1, pick 1 Arbor Elf, but definitely slamming Eidolon and being very happy about it. Ooh, okay, that is ideal. Not really any competition either here. I mean, there's Gideon, but Zergo is just awesome. That's exactly what we want. A good, hard-hitting 1-drop that can just get us off on the right foot. Really, the name of the game here is, like, 1-drop into 2-drop into, like, I mean, backing it up with burn or, like, a few more creatures, so I like that we have a ton of 1-drop creatures and a ton of 2-drop creatures. I guess, let's see. Yeah, these are all 2-drop, or no. Whoops. These are all 2-drop creatures that we can just drop on the second turn and start beating. Ooh, this is a tough call. Do we want Char or Hero of Oxid Ridge? This is very close. Do we think either one could wheel? If we take one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards, so 2 will be coming back. This is a pretty good pack. I mean, someone will probably take Sunlance, Cultivate, or what will come back, I guess, is the question. I think we go with a hero, even though I do want Burn, just because this is a great, great 4-drop. And also, I mean, it's better the more creatures you have with the Battle Cry. Yeah, I think we can't pass this up, especially since we were pretty light on 4 drops. Alright, pretty happy to pick up a Legion War Boss. That's one of the best 3 drops. Ooh, okay, if I'd known we would take this, I sort of wish we'd taken the Char, but this is another great creature. So we'll take that. And yeah, this deck is really coming together well. This will probably be, it could be a 15-land deck. It's either 15 or 16 for sure. So we'll see if we get 2 more playables that we really, really want to get in there. Then, okay, this is a good sideboard card, but not one we'll main deck. But yeah, we could do 15 lands. We'll see how it ends up shaking out. This is a late never return. Mono black looks open. We will take, I guess, Ranger Vios and not play it. This is actually a pretty good sideboard card because I could definitely imagine, even though we don't have the fixing really, we have some very good white cards for the mirror. So what were we trying to wield? There's a Sheevan Fire that we were sort of hoping would come around. There was, oh, I think the Karizev got taken already? That's a little bit surprising. I would be surprised if the Char came back. I guess we take Mimic Vat here. Man, I really would like one. I guess we could play Lava Coil if we need to. Yeah, we're not getting any of these wheels that we were hoping for, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I do think this is like a very strong red deck. Okay, dang. Was really hoping to get a Char here, but... Alright, that's fine. We have a good deck. Ooh, Sword of Feast and Famine is actually interesting. Now we have a red-white and a black-green sword, so in most matchups we can sideboard in a sword that will be pretty effective. Would we rather just run all mountains or play this one Nykthos? I just don't think we really have a use for, like, 4 mana. Like, the best this can do is take us 3 to 4. Oh, someone even took the Annex? Are you kidding me? Wow, I don't really get how we got so many red cards and someone else was drafting those sorts of red cards, but who knows? I mean, maybe someone was drafting, like, red-green aggro or something. Like, base green, splashing red? I don't know. I think this is how we're going to run it. I guess we could throw in one... Actually, I think over the Nykthos, I'd rather play one Swamp. I think one Swamp is little enough that it won't mess up our mana, and it can just give us this Scrap Heap Scrounger value sometimes, especially when the game goes long. I almost want to play one more Mountain or Swamp, but like we have 4 1-drops that we really want to play on turn 1. We have a couple 2-drops that we really want to play on turn 2 that are double red, so I think we should probably just go with this. So yeah, I think this is a pretty great mono red deck. It's missing a little bit of burn, but we have a great curve of cheap aggressive creatures. And yeah, we don't have to splash, so we have consistent mana. I think this is a very, very strong and fast deck. So I'll see you in round 1. All right, here we are for round 1 against Paul Welch, 1993. 3 years older than I am. I was born in 96. And we have an amazing hand. We will absolutely be keeping this. So if they play a 1-drop creature, we can Searing Blaze and hit them for 5 on the second turn. Otherwise, we can just curve out with nice creatures. And we don't have that many instants or sorceries, but we have 2 in our hand, which is good for fueling the Lavamancer. Man, I don't do it much, but when I do play mono red, it just feels so good when you have draws like this. Knight of the Even Legion. Okay. I think I actually am just going to Searing Blaze that. I want to get it. I mean, we could just attack and play the Crater Maker, I guess, but we're not guaranteed to have landfall again for a while, and I really do want to get landfall off of this, and just hitting for 5 damage here is good. One thing to keep in mind with a lot of mono red decks, your goal is to deal them damage down to like 5 or 6 and then burn them out. We don't really have enough burn to do that, so we sort of have to get across the finish line with creatures. But between like haste creatures and like, I guess we still have like Lavamancer and Hazoret to do direct damage, so we have ways to do it. Okay, Gravecrawler is not too bad. It can't block. I hope we're not playing against Mono Black Devotion, because Grey Merchant of Asphodel would be very bad for us. I think that's in the format. Ooh, Triome, okay. Plains, Swamp, Forest. There's a Swamp. That's actually a great draw. So we will attack for 1, and then play Crater Maker plus Lavamancer. Get in there, Lava Boy, and we'll pass the turn. Now, next turn we can... I mean, we could, if we draw land, we could just go land Hazoret, and we'll have exactly 1 card, so we could attack. We could also go, if we don't draw land, we could just use a Braid, kill something, exile 2 things with Lavamancer. Okay, land. That's fine. So we will start by attacking with everything, holding up a Braid. If Crater Maker could go to the face, it would be so good in this deck. There was a card like this earlier. I forget what it was called. Ember Hauler, I think. That's just it's 2 red for a 2/2. You can pay 1 and sack it to deal 2 damage to anything. So it loses the ability to blow up colorless non-creature or non-land permanents, but it gains the ability to go to the face. I think that'd probably be slightly better for us in this format at least. Wow, no play, no removal spell end of turn is a great sign for us. It's sort of weird to have like Gravecrawler and Knight in your deck, but then not have a turn 3 play there. We don't really have much of a sideboard. I guess we could bring in Murderous Redcap. I think Lava Coil could actually be great here. Okay. That's a little annoying. We'll see what they shoot with this. Alright, Soulscar Mage down. That's a bit of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. Land. Okay, so I think we should just go land Hazoret. We attack with everything. They take 6. They can shoot our Grim Lavamancer, which is annoying. I would love to get some value off of that, but in basically mono black, I doubt they'll have answers for the Hazoret. And so if we hit them down to 3, then we can just use Hazoret's ability a couple times and kill them. Our opponent also probably should have attacked with the Gravecrawler since it can't block. Boom. Attack for a lot. This card is very, very good against us for sure. It's like basically guaranteed to be a 3-for-1. Yeah, so just kill Soulscar Mage. Wait, that would just put them to 1? Wow. That's aggressive. So they kill the Lavamancer. They're just dead to the Hazoret ability next turn unless they have a way to deal with it. Oh, what? Okay. That's not the optimal line from our opponent there. This deals 1 damage when it comes back. I guess they just thought it dealt 2 damage both times, but no, it's equal to its power, which goes down to 1. There's a Plains. I mean, they could play like Timely Reinforcements, I guess. But this would be a weird deck to play Timely in. Alright, there's the concede. So, pretty good start to the league. Hopefully we can keep it going into round 2, or game 2. So, black-white, I guess. I mean, they're base black for sure. Anger of the Gods could be a sort of funny option. Murderous Redcap is an option as well. Sort of Feast and Famine. What looks bad? Avalanche Riders on the draw does not seem great. Man, Redcap is very good. It can kill Hero of Oxid Ridge, Warboss, and Rabblemaster. Emperor's Shieldbreaker doesn't look like it's going to be that great. I think I'd rather have a sword. And then I think this is very close. We could even bring in Mimic Vat if we think they'll be killing a lot of creatures. I think I'll go with the Murderous Redcap. We'll see how this plays, but I think it'll be pretty good. So we'll submit this. Sort of funny that our Swamp can also help us cast Redcap. I mean, not that we'll have a trouble generating that colored mana if we have 4 mana either way, but still sort of fun. Okay, this is obviously very land heavy, but these are both, and it's just like, it's not particularly aggressive, but Searing Blades is a great turn to play against them, probably, and these are good 4-drops. I think I'm going to risk it and keep. It could backfire, but we have so many, like, 1, 2, and 3 mana creatures that I think we're very like, okay, Duress, well, there goes our Searing Blaze. That's actually not that great of a card against us, though, in general. But we're just very, very likely to draw creatures to fill our curve, and these are both just amazing cards in the matchup, and they also work well together. Well, okay, that was bad. If you have more burn spells and fewer creatures, it's more important to get creatures down early, because you just, like, you need to get them to the point where they're in burn range, whereas for this sort of deck, like, we can rely on just, like, like creatures are repeatable sources of damage. So if your plan is to like get in a little bit of damage with creatures and then burn them out, you really need to get off to a more aggressive start. But if you have more creatures, then you can like push through damage in the later game. Do we want to lava coil this? I don't think so. At least not now. If they spend their whole turn pumping this, then we might lava coil it next turn, but that would be great for us. They hit. We'll see if they pump. We definitely want them to. Okay, that's a bummer. That means they're going to have another play here. Ooh, that's bad. That's very bad. That is also very bad. Okay, I think now I am going to lava coil this because next turn we're going to be using our mana. Alright, this game has gone pretty much as poorly as it could have so far, so we'll see, but I'm not too optimistic. It is very nice that this exile, so they can't minus the Lily to get it back. Liliana is very good against Pia and Kira Nalara, and just our deck in general. Hero of Oxid Ridge can hit her down to 1. Vampire Nighthawk. Oh, this is a nightmare. Okay, yeah, we're not going to win this game. I think we just have to play Pia. Then they can shoot down one of the 1/1s, but then we can play Hero plus Beaumont Courier and get a nice attack in. But Nighthawk is very good against us. We could also draw Sword. That would probably be our best draw. Yeah, none of these cards really look great, so I think we'll just lose this game, but then run it back and be on the play and mulligan that hand, or at least like I still think it's reasonable to keep. But then I mean, we just drew like 2 lands in a row after that, or like 2 lands in a burn spell and no creatures. Yep, bye bye Thopter. They just pass, okay. I think this is close. So let's see. If we played Beaumont Courier and Hero of Oxid Ridge and attack Liliana with everything, first let's assume they have nothing, and then think about if they do. So if they have nothing, they block the hero and they trade. And then their Lily takes 2, 4, 7, so it would die. If they do have a removal spell, then they kill Hero of Oxid Ridge and begin combat, probably. And then we just don't attack and lose, but yeah, I think we have to just assume they don't have anything. We can't really beat them having a good follow-up here. So we'll go with this and hope they don't have something. No instant speed removal. They only have 2 cards, and they play land every turn, so it's not impossible. Everything at Lily. Unfortunately, this block thing doesn't do anything here. It doesn't matter how we stack these triggers. So I guess if they have removal spell for this and then block Pia, Lily takes 4. Then I think we would probably just concede. Then they can just uptake Lily to kill one of these, and our board is just 1 Thopter, and they're at 22 with a Planeswalker on the battlefield. They can kill our Thopter next turn. Yeah, that's not really a winnable position, especially having already drawn 2 of our 4 drops. I guess if we drew Hazoret off the top, we could maybe get there. So if they don't have anything, it'll be interesting to see. Oh, wait, they can't block the Pia, right? Okay, so they're just doing that. Really, really hope they don't have a way to kill one of these things. If this just goes through, then we're actually in fine shape. Okay, so they have a lot of life, but we have a pretty good board presence, and we have Beaumont Courier to refill our hand as well. So maybe we're actually doing okay. Despite flooding pretty hard. Okay, them cracking that is a little scary. If they have like a Grave Titan, that would be pretty brutal. Okay, they're interesting. Just fetch a tapped Godless Shrine there. Wrath of God. Alright, well, basically a top deck war. That's interesting. Do you want to hold... Let's see. I mean, we could just cast both halves of Bone Crusher Giant and cast Zergo. Alternatively, we could dash Zergo and then hold up Bone Crusher Giant to shock something. I think I'm gonna get the Bone Crusher into play. We don't want to give them more draw steps. It is very close for sure. I mean, they're taking 2 damage either way, and if they just like go, you know, just play like a 2-drop that dies to a stomp, then we will regret this. But if they just played nothing, then we would really wish that we had the Bone Crusher down to just deal the 4 damage. This also insulates us against like Lilion of the Veil or Thoughtseize or anything that would hit our hand. Well, that would have beat us no matter what, I think. They have no cards, but can we ever beat this? Not with a Melon. I think I'm just going to concede to that. We don't have any burn spells that hit a Baneslayer. Do we have any ways to deal with that at all in our sideboard? We were going to lose that game for sure. Okay, this is going to be a tough matchup. If they have Wrath, Nighthawk, Baneslayer, that's a lot of good things against us. I think we're just going to run it back, though, and try to have a more aggressive draw. So I didn't realize that their deck was going that big. Gravecrawler made me think they were going to be a little bit lower to the ground, and we could, like, potentially just outslug them with good creatures, but that's certainly not the case, so we're going to mulligan to aggressive hands now. We can deal with Baneslayer with 2 burn spells, like Lava Coil plus Stomp. So if we're in an opportunity where we can wait, I think we will try to do that. Ooh, also Soulscar Mage would be very good there. Like Soulscar Mage and then burn your Angel down to be a 2/2, and we could definitely beat a 2/2 Flying First Strike Lifelink. That's just so many keywords, though. Not what we want to see. Definitely happy not to have like Anger of the Gods here. This is not the kind of matchup where we're siding into a control deck. Alright, we are on the play this time, and a lot of creatures we'll keep. No 1-drop is unfortunate, but just curving like Crater Maker into Rabble Master into Red Cap is pretty good against a lot of draws. I mean, we'll still... Oh, actually, yeah, even Ferocidon will stop Baneslayer if they can't kill it, so... I mean, it depends slightly on what they do, but we'll probably play Rabble Master first because it hits harder in the short run, and Ferocidon is the card we want to be live, like, in the mid to late game. Well, there's a Thoughtseize, so they can take our Crater Maker, probably. If they take the Ferocidon, that's scary, because it means they have a lot of life gain. But my guess is they'll just mess up our curve by taking the Crater Maker. So this is why some people say, like, oh, Thoughtseize is negative tempo. Ooh, that is very scary. But people say that's negative tempo because they spent 1 mana to trade with our no mana. But they could have messed up our curve. I mean, we drew Zurgo and they didn't take the Crater Maker. We'll still play Crater Maker. But like if they just take our 2-drop and then we don't have a 2-mana play, then their 1-drop basically traded with our 2-drop. But they did not take that. That means they probably have some lifelink in there. Hopefully they don't play something that can break our goblins from Rabble Master. Sort of funny that... So this gets plus power for each goblin we control. Oh. That's so bad. Wow, that's a real disaster for us. I think we're just going to go to second main and cast Goblin Rabble Master. But this is like the worst case scenario. Like, this deck could never in a million years beat a blue control deck, but it just really stomps mono red. So, next turn, we'll be able to get in a nice attack, and, I mean, they'll probably trade this for the Rabble Master if I had to guess. Duress, okay, that is fine. I guess if we drew land and we could slam Hero, then we could get a nice attack in. Come on, land. Okay, that's good. We could also play the red cap, but I think we want to go with Hero here. So we make a 1/1 and then attack. They can't eat anything profitably except the token. And if they just like eat the token, gain 2, but then take a ton, that's definitely okay. not matter how we stack these triggers once again. So we'll see if they want to trade off with one of our big boys or if they just want to keep the Aetherborn around. If they do block us, that's 9, 10, 11, 12. They gain 2, so yeah, I think they're probably going to have to block with the Aetherborn. They could just go, like, land Wrath of God here, which would be bad, but we have follow-ups, and at least we were able to get in a decent hit of damage there. Like, that'd be a 2-for-1, I guess. That's not... Oh, man, that's a good line for them to have there. Ooh, okay. So we draw... Land is bad. We'll dash the Zergo. And then hit for lethal. I mean, they'll probably kill the hero. Oh! Or we just win. Wow. I was not expecting that. I thought that was going to be tough, but... Like, if they'd had removal spell into Baneslayer, I think they had Baneslayer in hand. They wouldn't have taken the Frostodon. I guess they had this, so they had some life gain in hand, but I really do think they had Baneslayer. But we were able to push through enough damage, so pretty sweet. Well, I think that's an above-average matchup in terms of difficulty. So if we could take down that with their, like, cheap interaction and lifelink creatures and board sweepers... Give me a blue control deck, man. We'll tear that up. So, feeling pretty good about this deck after being able to win that matchup. So, I'll see you in round 2. Hello, everybody. Here we are for round 2 against Henry Morehouse. And we are on the play once more, fortunately. Pretty land heavy, but we have 2 1-drops, so I don't think we can ship that. Question is, do we lead on Soulscar or Swift Spear? If we had a 1-mana burn spell for next turn, we would lead on Soulscar and then go turn 2 Swift Spear, burn you, hit you for 4. But since we don't, I think I'm just going to get the hit in while we know we can. Boom. Take 1. Shelldock Isle. Okay. I'm sure their deck is better than ours in the abstract, but I think this will be a good matchup for us. Ooh, we could even draw Avalanche Riders and blow that up. That'd be pretty spicy. Ooh, okay, well, drawing the 5th land was pretty much worst case scenario, or definitely worst case scenario there. But we have a good start. We just need to draw a few more spells. Uh-oh, blue-white, no fair. Well, alright. That's frustrating. We're only playing, maybe we should be playing 15 lands in this deck. I wish we had, like, one more, like, Karizav, or, like, one solid, cheap creature that we could just fill out our deck with, or, like, a Lightning Strike. Okay, that's fine. Do we just jam that into a potential Wrath? I kind of think we have to. If we're just hitting for 2 every turn, that's not enough. So... if they just go, yeah, land, Wrath of God, we basically just lose. Okay, Queller. That is great for us, actually. Now the question is if we want to Lava Coil that now. Yeah, actually, we should. I was thinking, like, oh, we could wait, play around a Verdict, and also get the Prowess trigger, but having the 3-1 being able to attack just does more damage than the Prowess trigger, so that is worth it. Cast that Legionnaire. Also, if they played Spell Queller there, it makes it a lot less likely that they have a Wrath. Oh, okay. Gideon is fine. Actually, it's pretty bad. That's pretty bad for us. Burn Spell. No. Alright, we're going to attack everything at Gideon. They could eat one of these and then let Gideon die. Okay, so that's really not... I guess they're assuming if we had a Burn Spell, we would have just used it, which is probably true. But this is pretty rough. I mean, we kept a 4-lander with 3 spells, and then since then we've drawn 3 spells in 1 land, or 3 lands in 1 spell. That's pretty bad. I think we're like 5% to win this game, probably. Hedron Archive. Wow, okay, well, they're going big. Hopefully they don't have something too scary next turn. That's probably going to end the game. Man, we really have been drawing a lot of lands in a lot of these matchups. Oh, discard Colonnade. That is actually a very bad sign because it means that they, like, if they had another land, they would have discarded that over Colonnade almost definitely. Either they have an 8-drop to play next turn, or they have all spells in hand, both of which are going to be very hard for us to beat. We will dash this. I guess we should probably actually start holding. Yeah, we should have been holding lands for Hazaret. Okay, so at least we get into 3 damage. But now there's a situation where, like, because we're a creature heavy burn deck, or a creature heavy red deck without much burn, it's going to be very hard to push through the last points of damage because they'll have ways to deal with creatures more likely than they'll have ways to deal with burn spells. Six mana, what you got? Frost Titan? Consecrate the Sphinx? Everflowing Chalice. Okay, that's not that scary. Oust, that's fine. Come on. That is very frustrating. So we've seen half the lands in our deck, and we've seen under a third of the cards in our deck. I mean, we kept the land heavy hand. We knew that we were keeping that, and that could have been a wrong decision, but this is really not how we drew it up. They can crack their Hedron Archive and then play Shelldock. Oof. I don't know what this is, but I'm almost definitely going to concede to it. Yeah, I mean, we could play longer and see their win condition, but I don't really want to sit through that, and that obviously ends the game. Alright, so pretty brutal game 1. That couldn't have gone much worse. How do we want to change, if at all, for game 2? I'm not in love with Lava Coil, even though it was okay there, but I still think it's a little bit better than Murderous Redcap, so I think we're just going to run it back and hope we don't flood that hard. On the draw, we'll cut a land, but on the play, like, 16 is not an unreasonable number, I think. Like, that was... We could be results-based and be like, oh, we just flooded hard. Like, obviously, we're playing too many lands, but that's not really how that works. I mean, yeah, 16 is not that high of a land count. Alright, we get to be on the play again, and this hand is... Oh, I was about to say good, but it's actually pretty bad. I think it is still keepable. Like, we have a great 2-drop, but having no play on turn 3 is very unfortunate. So hopefully they either play a creature we can Lava Coil or we draw something. But even in the worst case scenario, just like dropping a really good 2-drop on turn 2, well, I mean, I guess we did want 1 land to be able to play these 4s, but now I really hope we can draw a 3-drop like a Rabble Master or something. Journey to Nowhere. Okay, that's a 2-drop. Or, I mean, I guess I would rather the 3-drop, but just really what we wanted was a creature we could play. And that fits the bill. So we'll probably just go Pia this turn. Jace. Okay, yeah, we will Lava Coil that eventually, but I would rather establish the Pia. They're not going to flip this turn. Almost definitely. This is 1 card in the graveyard. If they go like fetch land, compulsive research, then use Jace, that would be able to flip. But I still think we just want to get the Pia into play. Use our mana a bit more efficiently. Next turn we could even just sacrifice one of the Thopters to kill that Jace if we wanted to. Do they have a dual land to fetch with this? They do not. Okay. Them fetching end of turn instead of on their own turn, if they're getting a basic, indicates that they're low on lands. So they have which also indicates they have a lot of spells. So we definitely don't want the game to go long, if at all possible. I mean, that already was true, but it's even more true now that we have that extra piece of information. If they sweep the board here, that's okay. Okay, so they can... Oh, okay. I was thinking they might give us back the Legionnaire to hit something else, but that makes sense. So... I think we're going to just Lava Coil one of these and then attack with everything. Or, no, I'd probably rather just Thopter one and Lava Coil the other. So, I don't think it really matters which one is exiled. We'll do this. If we don't sack the Thopter, then they can just kill the Pia, which is just better than killing a Thopter. And we're not using the mana either way. Alright, so they are creature heavy enough that I think Lava Coil is a reasonable card against them. Same with Searing Blaze. Discarding Sphinx's Rev. That's a little bit scary. I mean, unless they're going to miss their next land drop, I guess. Bye-bye, Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp did trade with 2 Thopters, but we still got a 2-2 at the end of that exchange. So hit for 4. Their life total is pretty high, but next turn we have Hazoret. Not Baneslayer, please. Ooh, that is maybe even worse. Well, that was actually a very good draw. So we can go land, kill your Cloud Goat, and then Hazoret and hit. And we're just going to attack with everything. They pretty much have to block the Hazoret. So they could, I mean, they could, like, block this and double block this. But, like, if this dies, that's actually good for us. We can Eternalize, which would be great. And if they just trade 2 things with the Pia, that's also fine. So I think we're in pretty great shape here. So they do chump that and then probably just double block the Pia. Or maybe, yeah, I mean, my guess is they'll double block the Pia. Yeah, there we go. So we hit them for 2. And then, I mean, now we just have this Hazoret in play that will be very hard for them to deal with. Baneslayer? Okay, Gideon. That can make a chump blocker every turn. But, alright, that's a good draw because it's a shock. Just like every other draw in our deck right now. So we attack them. They chump block the Hazoret because they have to. So they're at 2, essentially, now. We can kill them next turn if they don't gain life or deal with Hazoret. They could play like an Oust that deals with Hazoret temporarily. Another 2-2, yep. I'm just going to end a turn, discard this land. So we just win. Okay. Cast out. Alright, well. That's a little bad. Like, anything kills them here. But they did have an answer to that. So, something good. Zurgo. Crater Maker. That should do it. So we can kill this. And then hit them for 2 for the win. Nice. Alright, so on to game 3. This is, again, I think this is a pretty tough matchup. Like, I was saying how I wanted to play against a blue-based control deck. But this is more, like, white-based, it seems like. At least in game 2. So, that's a little scary. Do we want a Sword of War and Peace to swing through all these white creatures? Definitely not cutting any 1-drops. I think Lava Coil is better than Sword. Eidolon is definitely better. Yeah, I think all these cards are just a little bit more important. Yeah, we're just going to run it back again. Oh, wait, actually, I wish I had cut a land for that. So, we'll see if we end up flooding. I mean, with this hand, I definitely would rather draw land than that. So, maybe we'll end up getting paid off for that, but we'll see. We can go 1-drop into 2-drop into 3-drop if we draw land. And then we have lots of 3s, so we just need to draw 1 land, and then we have a lot of gas. Ooh, another 2-drop. That's good. That means we have a turn 3 play no matter what. Journey to Nowhere, my Lavamancer. Oust, my Lavamancer. Well, that actually could be annoying. Okay, yeah, that's bad. That means we're going to miss our next land drop. I think I would rather get the Eidolon down than the Crater Maker. They both hit for 2, and I think Eidolon will just do a little bit more. Okay, so we'll attack for 2. And then play Crater Maker. Don't really care about the damage here. So they could have Gideon, but then we could just go Abrade your token and kill your Gideon. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not a problem. They could have actually plused there. That would have been a reasonable line, but they did not, and we are happy about that. So we drew land, but we're still just going to take this opportunity to kill the Gideon. And then the question is if we want to extend the Lavamancer, and I kind of think we do. Like, if they have Wart Sweeper, that's bad. but we have lots of good follow-ups, and that also, like, what we don't want is to not play board sweeper and then them play, like, some big planeswalker, like Teferi, that we can't kill then or something, so we're going to go with this. And then just hope they don't have... We also haven't seen a board swiper yet in 2 games. Compulsive research, yeah. Very, very happy we extended the Lavamancer now. Discard Scalding Tarn, that makes sense. That's a weird card for them to be playing if they don't have duels. Now the question is if we want to play more things. Like, we could just go Rabblemaster. You know what? We are going to do that. We just want to push damage. We have more gas, too. It's not like we need to... Like, if we were flooding and we were limited on spells, then we might need to, like, be a little bit more conservative and play around a Wrath. But I think here, just, like, pushing through the extra damage right now is worth it since we have a good follow-up, even if they do have a board sweeper. Okay, Cloud Goat. Yeah, I'm very happy with our choice. If we could... Oh, no. Hero of Oxid Ridge would be amazing if we go to cast it, but we cannot. It's sad we didn't have the Ferocidon for that. I think we just go Swift Spear, attack with everything. I guess we should probably leave back the Lavamancer. Yeah, we'll leave back Lavamancer, but attack with everything else. So they definitely have to block the Rabblemaster. If they put 2 Kithkin on the Rabblemaster, we'll probably just stomp one of them. Okay, blocking like that. So we're just going to, before damage, kill the... I guess... We could just use Lavamancer, actually, to kill the Cloud Goat Ranger, and then save this to go face. But, that's actually very close. The Prowess trigger is nice. It's a little bit more mana efficient to use the Stomp, though. And I don't think they have a board sweeper. Yeah, I'm gonna just go for the Stomp. This is worse if they have a board sweeper because we're losing the value, like the Swift Spear value. But I think they would have swept the board last turn if they could have. And I do think there's a lot of value in using the mana efficiently and the prowess and everything. So they have to sweep our board here or they're dead. There's the Serum Visions. Actually, yeah. We actually shouldn't have played the Stomp there because of what I just said. If they don't sweep the board, we're already winning. And so we should have just assumed they were sweeping the board, even though I don't think they will. But again, oh, okay, so another time we're having Ferocidon in play would have been good, but this worked out pretty well. Jace, okay. I think what we should do is just Grim Lavamancer to shoot the Whirler Rogue and attack with everything. Yeah, we'll do that. And we're hitting the Whirler Rogue because it deals the most damage. Like, it can kill our Rabblemaster. Now we attack with everything. We could also use the Goblin to kill their Jace before attacking, but I think I'd rather just do this. So they have to chump the Rabblemaster. They'll probably just chump, block one of the Goblins with the Jace, and then chump again. Yeah, okay. They should definitely put a Jace in front of a Goblin. Yeah. So if that all happens, they lose their board and they take 2. That's not great, but it's okay. Now I think I am going to use this to just kill the Jace. We really, like, if they just flip the Jace and then wipe our board and then have a Planeswalker and we have nothing, that's super bad. And we're not going to play the Soul Scar now. I think at this point, like, we have enough of a board. We don't need to play more things. Oh. That's bad. That's definitely bad. I'm happy I didn't play the Soul Scar Mage. We need some burn spells now. But we have some plays. I think we'll start with the Ferocidon because it shuts down their life gain. Our life total is a little bit precarious right now, but this is also like a way to push through damage, and I just think having a 2-1 doesn't do that much. But Elesh Norn is very good, for sure. We need to draw... I mean, we have Exquisite Firecraft, which would just win. Hazoret would be good. Oh, this is a bummer though. I think we are pretty far behind. Brimaz, okay, they take one. Well, can't really do much other than just cast this. And pass the turn. We're going to have to chump block the Elesh Norn here. Uh-oh. Now we're just dead. That's a bummer. They're going to... Yeah, they're end at 2, but we're dead. So close. But yeah, that's 7 damage. We chump here and die. So, no trophy this round. The opponent's deck was, yeah, pretty well positioned against ours. Like, Whirler Rogue, Cloud Goat Ranger, Gideon. Yeah, a lot of these creatures are just pretty tough for us. So, that's a bummer. Tight match, though. We fought hard. And we'll go grab that 2-1 in the finals. See you there. All right, here we are for round 3, and our hand is pretty great, so we will definitely keep. I really have felt the lack of burn spells in this match, or in this league so far. If we had burn there, we would have been so much better. All right, Kithian, so they're probably pretty aggressive as well. We still want to be on the aggressive, though, so we will attack here. I guess, yeah, we'll attack. Trading 2 for 1 could be bad, but A, they might just kill our Swift Spear, and then we'll definitely wish we had attacked. And B, I think we can out-aggressive them, especially with an Eidolon in hand. Forest, interesting. Something like a Voice of Resurgence would be very annoying. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Lava Coil would be good here. That definitely makes me regret that attack, though, last turn. Since we have no attacks this turn. Selfless Spirit. Okay, so just like green-white aggro, I guess. Will they attack with anything? Probably not. Ferocodon could deal a lot of damage to them, I'm sure. I again, really wish we had more burn spells. I should have probably prioritized that more highly. We'll just take this. That was a bad draw. We will attack with both. We need to push damage. We can't just play Drago when they're hitting us with a Voice and a Selfless Spirit. Oh, interesting. They just take it all. Okay. Ferocodon. Now, basically anytime someone casts a spell, they'll take 3. Since most spells will be creatures and they'll cast less than that. They missed their land drop, so Eidolon will be hitting anything they play for sure. Avalanche Riders could actually be very good here. Okay, just attacking for 2, it looks like. I can deal with that. We are behind on life, but we're ahead on board presence slightly, and Avalanche Riders will be a great play for us. And also, even though we don't have a ton, we do have burn. We have some burn in our deck, which is very good in this sort of situation. Oh, wow. They just have to take 5 to play Porcelain Legionnaire there. Exquisite Firecraft is nice. So, what happens if we just play Avalanche Riders and attack with everything? They would have to double block this, so we would at least get in for some damage. I guess they could just eat this, eat the Eidolon, trade with the Avalanche Riders and take 3. I don't really want to lose the Ferocodon, but if they do double block the Ferocodon, then we're getting in for at least 3 damage. We could also Exquisite Firecraft the Legionnaire. And then attack with all of these, and they could double block this if they wanted to, and then take 4. But then we kill both of these. Oh, they do also have the Selfless Spirit, though. Yeah, Selfless Spirit makes most attacks look pretty bad. I actually think we're just going to play Avalanche Riders and pay the Echo, as weak as that is. Because, if we just attack with everything and they just sack the Spirit, yeah, I just think that doesn't work out great for us. And I think I would rather kill the Plains here. They look like they're heavier white. And we'll just take our 1 and then pass. And, like, if we just pass back and forth with them hitting us with a Selfless Spirit, that's not ideal, but it's not a disaster. We still have this Firecraft, and then if they cast any spells, then they're get really close to burn range. Okay, they drew another land that is a good land. That's a bummer. Any sideboarding here? Maybe Anger of the Gods, actually. And definitely Murderous Redcap. Alright, so probably just attack for 2. Yep. Nine, and then no play. I think I am going to pay the Echo here. Ooh, that is a great draw. So we'll pass this turn, but the next turn, we can play the Kenra to, if they just don't play anything, we can play Kenra, make it so their voice can't block, and then get a nice attack off. So we take 2 here. If we play both of these, we take 2, 4, 5. So we would go to 2 and be locked out from more spells. Can we kill them, I guess, is the question. So their voice can't block. They can block 2 things, take 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess the other question is if we want to play Exquisite Firecraft first. So let's do some math here. We're assuming they don't have anything. If they do have something, they're also taking 2. They could have like Dromoka's Command. But we can play Earthshaker Kenra. Your voice can't block. Attack with everything. They block 2 2-power creatures with these, which maximizes the damage prevention. And they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we burn them out. Alternatively, we play the Firecraft now. They go to 5, we get the Prowess. Then we shut down their blocks and attack. And I think they both win. If they have a Dromoka's Command, I think it's slightly better to hold off on this because worst case scenario is they go like Dromoka's Command, prevent that 4 damage, and fight the Selfless Spirit against like the Eidolon or something. So I think we should go with the attack first. So if they go with I guess they could go Dromoka's Command to put a counter on this, so it fizzles that ability. That would be annoying. Then they would have 3 blockers, so they could block 3 things, take 4. Oh, they would still. Oh, they didn't have anything there, so I think we should be good. So we'll see. They didn't have any effects before blocks. Okay, if that's their blocks and they're just going to 3, that seems okay. Okay, so yeah, we just fire this off, right? Like, I think if they had Dromoka's Command, they would have used it. And yeah, actually, definitely, because we're just dead on the backswing, so please don't have Dromoka's Command. I think that's the only card in the format that would do it here. And if they did have Dromoka's Command, then, like, they would go to 1, which is a little bit sad. We go to 2. And they go to -1. Okay, wow. Tight game. But we got there. That was pretty sweet. On to the next game. I think these both do seem pretty good. Do we want Sword of War and Peace? Maybe. What seems bad? Avalanche Riders was good there, but I think in general in the matchup it's not great. Definitely want the burn. I do think I want the Scrap Heap Scrounger, even though not being able to block is a real downside. I don't think we're going to bring this in just because it's going to be too hard to find space. I think we can kill 1 mountain on the draw. Yeah, that seems fine. We'll run this. Okay, well, I sort of regret cutting a mountain right now, but we'll keep this hand still. Could go poorly, but these are both great cards in the matchup. And we have, like, we have a 1-drop. We have lots of plays. We're on the draw, so I think this should be okay. All right, perfect. So now we're totally in business. Do they have the voice? They have the Glory Bound Initiate. Okay, I think I'm just going to Searing Blaze that. I don't want them to gain a bunch of life. And we can't shut it down with Earth Shaker Kenra. Boom. Gotcha. Down to 14. Okay, pretty good that they have to shock. Or, they don't have to shock. They have to pay a life, though. Hopefully it's not something like Brim has. Okay, Porcelain Legionnaire is fine. I think I'm just going to play... Oh, no, I think we should probably just play the Crasher and hit for 4. Yeah, that seems good. This has been a pretty good draw. We're curving out very well. So they're at 9, and we have a pretty stacked hand, including 2 hasty bolt. Really, these creatures all have pseudo haste. We can give this one haste. This one has it naturally, and this one makes a dude with haste. Okay, Banish Marshal seems like a pretty good thing to Lava Coil. Hopefully we draw land so we can... Okay, really, really happy if they attack here. Yeah, that was not a good attack. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, still Lava Coiling. And then we hit for 2, and we'll just drop this Zergo. I don't expect to see Board Sweeper out of them, and even if they did go Board Sweeper, like, we have lots of gas to follow it up. It could go like Baneslayer here or something, I guess. No play. Interesting. So they are representing treetop animation. Let's see, if we play... If we just attack and exert this, they animate the treetop, eat the Zergo, take 4. Yeah, I think we're just going to hold up Bone Crusher and attack. Since the Earth Shaker can't really do much here. I mean, we could also play the War Boss, but I think stomping something is a little bit better. Attack and exert. Attack, attack. Put the exert on this. Oh, do they have Restoration Angel? Oh, Collected Company. Well, we'll see what they hit. This could be bad. Our opponent's deck is pretty sweet. Collected Company, like, yeah, I like what they've got going on over there, but I still hope they lose. So, do we want to stomp one of these creatures? I think we do. And I would probably slightly rather kill a Kithian, since these creatures will all have 2 power already, so stomp you. And now we're F6, no plays, but this seems pretty good for us. They can trade with a Zergo and then take 5. I guess they could trade with this if they wanted to and take 4 instead. But this isn't going to be attacking them next turn either way. Also, our left field is pretty healthy, so we have plenty of attack steps left. Alright, so trading with a Zergo, taking 5 down to 2. Too bad we don't have a Bolt. But if they don't have life gain, I think 2 is too precarious of a life total. Sun Titan. Well, getting back Glory Bound Initiate. That's bad. Burn Spell off the top. That is actually super bad, though. Because that can gain them a lot of life. Oh, that's so painful. I guess we just play the War Boss. But this is not looking good now. Although, let's see, if we draw land, we could maybe get in enough damage next turn with the hero. But they're going to gain 4 life. That's so bad. They can also get back Kithian. So I think we're just taking 10 here. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end. Man, they just went... That's rough. Sun Titan is very good against us. Now that we know that they're going that big, that makes Avalanche Riders... And they also have like a treetop village. Avalanche Riders actually does look pretty good. Oh man. Another big thing. Elder... Okay, yeah, we're dead. Okay. Bummer, we got so close. This is... maybe Mono Red is just not good in this format. I thought that every single matchup seems pretty unfavorable. Like, how do we ever beat Gargaroths and Sun Titans? Maybe I overestimated how good Mono Red was in this format, but we'll see. Hopefully we can... I mean, we're on the play now. That's a big help. They're going bigger than we thought, so we do want this Avalanche Riders. I also think we do want to land on the draw. Or on the play. We're cutting the anger. We need to be faster than that. And then this is a lot of 4s. I think I'm just going to go back to main deck, actually. I thought this was going to be a battle of like 2-2s and 1-1s, but they're trying to go up to 6-6s, so Murderous Redcap is less impressive. No 1-drop and no second land, so we got to ship that. And this is not much better, but it is okay. Hazoret is better on a mulligan. The fact that we have no 2-drop creature is pretty annoying. I really hope they play a 1-drop so we can use our mana effectively. Okay, yep, we'll Searing Blaze that. Man, we were off to such a good start, too. Giver of Runes, okay. I think we're just going to play On-Crop Crasher and not Exert. Grim Lavamancer should be pretty good in this matchup, I would imagine. Man, their deck is pretty sweet. They got all the good lands. Well, we can't really attack profitably here, so I think we're just going to drop our hand. I would love to be able to Lava Coil that voice, but we can't do that while the Giver is in play. We need to get one more card in the graveyard so that we can use Grim Lavamancer on the Giver and then Lava Coil the voice. Hopefully they don't pass holding up Collected Company, because that's a way that they can advance their board a lot without playing into the Eidolon. Selfless Spirit. Okay, that's... I guess that can save their Giver, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, their creatures are becoming pretty untouchable. I think we just have to bite the bullet and go for Lava Coil on the Giver. Ooh, does that change things? Like, what happens if we... No, that's not even that good. We need to get rid of the Giver ASAP, I think. So, we'll Lava Coil this. They can use Selfless Spirit to protect it if they want to. Or, yeah, but then they would lose the Selfless Spirit. And then we could... like, on their upkeep, Grim Lavamancers to shoot it. So I think this should be able to get rid of the Giver. They could also just let this happen and give something protection from red in response. Okay, they're doing that. So their voice is protected. So now we're just going to shoot the Selfless Spirit and pass. And now we just need to really hope they don't have a Gargaroth here. If they have Forest Elder Gargaroth, we're in very bad shape. No attacks because they could just eat something. We could push for 2, but that's not worth it. But now next turn, I guess even if they have Gargaroth, actually, we can go Hazoret, attack with everything, exert this to make their Gargaroth not block. Okay, they don't have Gargaroth. That's great. Fairgrounds Warden, don't care that much about that. I mean, they can take out our Crasher, but Hazoret will be really good here. I guess they can just chump with a voice. Hopefully they attack. Okay, was not expecting them to. Now, yeah, I think we just get the Hazoret down and beat. I want to get the Ferocodon down before they can start gaining life, but, like, Golgoroth doesn't gain life immediately. And not much value in attacking with either of these other creatures, so just Hazoret coming in. They'll chump. Yep, they trade. Or they don't trade, they trade their voice for a voice token. But they did miss their line drop last turn, so I think they probably have a Gargaroth or, like, some really good 5-mana play. Alright, we'll see. Do they have it? The fact that it blocks Hazoret is really unfortunate. Please don't be a Gargaroth. No! That is bad. That's super, super bad. We can probably kill it, but I'm still... Oh, misplay there. Should have held that to discard a Hazoret. I don't think that'll end up making a difference, but it could. So we just play land, pass, or play Ferocodon, pass back. Now they can't gain life. They can attack and make a beast, but actually attacking doesn't do much for them because we could just block with Hazoret and Eidolon, and they just kill the Eidolon. Man, that could actually be pretty costly that I played this Swamp, now that I think about it. But also, we're probably just dead. I mean, we know they have at least 2 spells in hand. They have Gavany Township and Stirring Wildwood. Their life total is high enough that we can't really burn them out. So, it's not looking great. It's definitely not unwinnable, but we're well behind. How come we didn't get to play any, like, card draw counterspell decks? That's what I wanted. I mean, I guess the second deck was sort of that, but they were also playing, like, a bunch of white creatures that played at the board. Are they attacking with a Gargaroth? They are. So they could put a counter on it and make it a 7/7. Yep, making a beast. They do take 1 from that. So we are just going to go for this block. If they have a way to break it up, they have a way to break it up. Oh, I'm just realizing just how bad playing that Swamp was. That would also give us good food for Grim Lavamancer. Not next turn, but, like... I mean, yeah, the Swamp represented 3 damage. 2 immediately and then half of a Lavamancer activation. And we just threw it down the drain for almost no value. Okay, that worked. I'm really, really happy to have traded Gargaroth. I mean, they still got a 3/3 out of the deal, but that was a great exchange for us. Now our Hazoret can keep attacking. If we kill this Fairgrounds Warden ever, getting back to Crasher will be very good. Scrap Heap Scrounger. That is a weird card for them to be playing in this matchup. I'm very happy to see that. This can't block, and it takes 1 when they play it. Uh-oh. Okay. That's a little scarier. Their board is pretty huge, but we have Hazoret. Okay, that was a good draw. We can just discard it. So, we attack with just Hazoret, I think. I mean, Hazoret is also a good blocker, but we want to push damage. They have to chump block this pretty much. Yep, that's fine. So we might have to chump block with something here, but we can discard with Hazret and then shock with Lavamancer, and then probably just like chump with Lavamancer because I don't think we'll be able to fill our graveyard enough again. They have 8, 9, 10, 14 power currently. They can level it all up with Gravity Township. So if we chump block one of these things, take 5, 10, 13, that would be fine. And we're putting them down to 3 with our Grim Lavamancer if we want to. And then we can put them down to 1 with our draw step with Hazoret. We'll see. This will be very close. Of course, we could always just draw Exquisite Firecraft and just win, but if we can manage to have 2 untap steps, that would be ideal. Questing Beast. Okay, that is bad. Oh, wait, no, that's actually great. I think now we just win. That 1 damage was huge, because they can't kill us here, I think. We can just throw away our board and then win. Yeah, that was a misplay on their part. They really needed that extra 1 point of life. Like, they know that we can deal 6 with information that's public knowledge. So this attack is for 13. We could just let that through and be fine. If you're playing Questing Beast, you're committing to attacking with everything. Like, just, that's your only line. But that will not be enough. We managed to secure the 2-1. So, tough league. It felt like we were on the back foot in a lot of situations. There are just, like, the cards that are good against mono red are really good against mono red, and there's options available to most colors. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not going to get the job done. I will just discard this mountain. Block here. Shoot you. What does it say? Combat damage that will be dealt by creatures you control. Okay. Yeah, so now, boom. Sorry, Rabblemaster, but you became a shock. Got him. All right, sweet. So, did manage to get the 2-1. I thought this deck was pretty good. It was definitely missing the burn, like I mentioned. So, good deck. Not great. We were really missing the burn. I mean, we had 20 creatures, which is, I mean, good, I guess. But, like, and also, I mean, 2 of our non-creature spells, Abrade and Lava Coil, can't even go to the face. So, our only burn that could hit face were Searing Blaze, Exquisite Firecraft, and Bone Crusher Giant. So, we needed more burn spells for sure. That was a big problem with this deck. Beyond that, I mean, the creatures were great. Like, the curve was great. We just needed a little bit more reach. We felt that especially against Blue Eye Control, where they were able to stabilize against our creatures. But it was a pretty sweet deck. It was fun to draft. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if there was anything I misplayed, and I'll see you next time.